Now look, you've got the Woodchurch estate, and you've got Beatwood estate. And I've done plenty of jail with the kids from the Woodchurch estate. And it is what it is, and they are what they are. They're just like the kids off the streets in Liverpool. The majority of the stuff that they get come from Liverpool. And there is some people in Liverpool that pay these kids to do stuff over the water. Some of these lads, I'm not saying this is what's happening right now with the situation, but when I was released from custody, because I had a reputation of being a game gunman, if you like, I had individuals like Paul Wilson, some steroid abuser dealing scumbag from the city of Liverpool, offering me £5,000 to go over the water and attack certain individuals that hold in money. Obviously, I refused. Point blank refused. But the point I'm making there is you've got individuals just like him that because they give swag out to certain people, not normally in Liverpool anymore because he's known as a dickhead and he normally gets robbed. So what they'll do, they'll give it to other kids across the water. And I'm not saying this is what happened here, but, you know, it does happen an awful lot. Yes, Martin. But like everything, when it kicks in, this going into this attacks that, hates one of them. They can't live with it. Disrespectful. They attack them back. Early stages, it's probably a few bats, probably a fisticuffs. Then it'll escalate to firearms. Then it'll escalate to a few shots here and a few shots there. Then it'll escalate to attacking women, burning houses, doing this, doing that, until you get to the point the gangster boyfriend is not going to sit there and let the other gangster boyfriends get away with it. It's starting to look really messy over there. Everyone used to think that Birkenhead was not the same as Liverpool when it came to gang life and gang violence. But the people of Liverpool know how game the kids are, how game the kids from them estates are, because the majority of the Scousers have been working alongside them kids. And it's always the same family that seems to be involved with them. I know from years and years and years that the Bakers, especially Thomas and Benjamin Baker, have had a huge grip on the trade on them estates over there. At least one of them. The majority of lads from over there that travel over here and set up the little meets with these groups to get sent over, it's evident to see. And how did it all start? Years ago in Birkenhead, if you were from Liverpool and you were selling, you had to have it at a certain potency. But if you went over to Birkenhead, that potency could be bashed and you'd make a lot more money. Hypothetically, let me say you make £1,200 off an ounce of, you'd make £2,200 off an ounce over the water. And that's how it all started. You had Scousers going over to Birkenhead when the Birkenheaders didn't really have a clue what to do. The Scousers were going over there, distributing this around them areas, creating poison, creating madness. But they were coming on top. And you had a lot of lads from the Langsdale area of Liverpool, Everton. And the Langsdale area, the boys from there, the majority of them work for the Bakers. And they used to send their little soldiers over there, grafting with bits, knowing the profit that could be made. Eventually, because they're over there for a couple of years, their little soldiers start linking in with the little game kids off them estates. You know, they're virtually the same. They sound the same. Got a little bit of a twang in the voice. That's all it is. So instead of sending the soldiers over there to get nicked, they encourage these little game kids off them estates to jump on board with the graft. And there you go, they're on board with the graft. And years later, you've got them same kids that was mixing with the bakers and them other kids that graft from Langsdale Estate. And they just crack on. And that's what you're witnessing now, the aftermath. Other groups move over there because they know it's a good round. They can make decent money over in Birkenhead. And it's not that far from Liverpool. And it just kicks in like that. And that's what happens consistently all over the place. Now, when I speak about the bakers, it's like anyone's scared to speak about the bakers because they've been snitching to the law for a very long, long time, and they get let off with an awful lot of. Now, I shouldn't really be speaking about the bakers on this day, should I? But I'm going to, because they create a lot of horrible, nasty in our city and around the country. Wrexham, Scotland, Brighton, Plymouth, Birkenhead. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, if you look in the city of Liverpool, you can take what? I can count 6 murders that the bakers have been directly involved in. And that's going right back to 1993, I think it was, with a fella called Peter Singleton. Now, Peter Singleton, back in the day, used to be close mates with Thomas Baker Jr. You've got 3 Thomases. You've got the Silverback, who used to give me my... Below him, you had his son, who's now being shot dead outside the meat market on Kensington. And below him, you've got young Thomas, which is Thomas's son. I'm speaking about the dad Thomas, not the granddad Thomas. And, you know, it goes on. So years ago, you had Thomas Baker, and him and Peter Singleton were quite close. You know, the distributing, they're doing what they're doing, so on and so forth. Everything's okay. Yeah? They have a fallout. Below Thomas Baker, you had Anthony Baker, which was Thomas's younger brother. So what happens is they fell out over money, and it kicks in. It goes mad, and before you know it, Peter Singleton is being ran down in his flat. He's got a nice apartment in West Kirby over the water. He's got a girlfriend. He's just had a child. Daniel Reid and Thomas Baker have travelled over in a van. Daniel Reid has chased Peter Singleton down with a firearm and shot him dead outside his place, where his residence. That's the first murder that you can tie to the Baker family that I'm aware of. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And then we can move along where they've been using other kids within their clique to kill other kids up and down the city. Look at Starkey, for instance. You know, look at these people. Look at James. James was a father of 5. He was shot dead while he was picking his young girl up from dance class. This is only a couple of years ago, people. You need to understand that these crime families that are situated in Liverpool just don't operate in Liverpool.